Good afternoon from Joliet, Illinois. We're inside the Sullivan Center on the campus of the University of St. Francis and ready for CCAC basketball. Welcome aboard. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for this afternoon's game as the Fighting Saints take on the Trojans of Trinity International University. St. Francis comes in with just one loss on the season, playing their second conference game of the season. Fighting Saints started the CCAC play out pretty well on Wednesday. They defeated Calumet College of St. Joseph by 89 points, 119-30. They come in with a 3-1 overall record. Trinity International is 1-3 entering today's game. They are 0-1 so far in conference play with their loss coming to Trinity Christian. They fell earlier this week by a final score of 72-48. Both teams on the floor ready to go. It's St. Francis in white, Trinity International in blue. Fighting Saints will be going from right to left here in the first half as Jordan Pyle goes up against Audrey Peck on the tip, and Pyle wins it. Saints take the first possession. Justine Charlesworth all the way to the basket, lays it in, and Charlesworth has the first 2 points of the afternoon. Saints led from start to finish on Wednesday. They tied the school record with an 89-point victory. Lobbed inside, Trinity International looking to respond to the early Justine Charlesworth layup. This is Braylee Gula. Shot clock is down to 6. Turnaround jumper off the mark. Rebound tracked down by Georgia Bolton. Hannah Switek takes it for the Fighting Saints. Saints scored 8 seconds into their matchup with Calumet on Wednesday. Led the rest of the way as Jordan Pyle knocks down a 3 from the corner. (5-0) St. Francis. So because they led 8 seconds into that game, they scored their first bucket about 10 seconds into this one. They have not trailed so far in conference play, and they're trying to go coast to coast again in this one as that rolls in. And Trinity International is on the board. Jakaya Amos lays that one in for her first 2 points and the Trojans' first 2. Jordan Pyle on the drive just streaks right past 2 blue shirts and easily to the basket. Gula and Amos were left in the tracks right there. 7-2, St. Francis has scored on every possession so far. There's Amos inside once again. This time doesn't get the roll. Good positioning. It looked like that one was going to fall, but made it only about a quarter of the way down. Here's Hannah Switek for 3. First miss of the ball game for St. Francis, and the rebound goes to Braylee Gula. So Trinity International clears for the first time today. Drive from Amber Reynolds. Jumper is no good. Rebound to St. Francis. Fighting Saints keeping the pace moving here as Justine Charlesworth fires a 3. It rims out. Rebound grab by Reynolds on a bounce. Back-to-back stops for the Trinity International defense. Now let's see if they can get the offense rolling here. This is Audrey Peck. Lobbed inside, Gula. Gula is blocked by Jordan Pyle. Pyle got an elbow to the head there as well, inadvertent. Had to shake that off as Georgia Bolton fires a 3. It's short, and it hits off the backboard. So that's going down the other way. First substitution of the game for St. Francis. Josie Graffio is in for Braxton Mickens. Here's Denaria Washington for Trinity. Washington is their leading scorer on the season. She holds it on the right side, passes up top. This is Ashley Geisler. Shovel off to Reynolds. A nice drive and kick into the corner. Long 2-point attempt misses from Amos. Rebound tipped around, and the point guard Switek comes away with it. Aggressive rebound from Hannah Switek. Fired inside from Pyle towards Graffio and tipped out of bounds by Washington. Good hands by Washington. It'll stay with the Fighting Saints, though. 6:55 to play in the first quarter. Shot clock has seen 6 seconds run down. Switek, the trigger man on the inbounds play here, lobs it in for Georgia Bolton. Into the post looking for Pyle, but Amos came over her back, and she's called for the foul. First foul of the game. Amos, her first team first. Fighting Saints trying to pick up their 4th consecutive win today. got off to a very strong start offensively as Pyle loses the handle on the ball. Good defense by Amos. Pyle wanted the foul, didn't get the call. It's Washington on the other end, missing on the runner. Charlesworth comes away with the rebound. Here's Hannah Switek pushing the pace. Switek all the way to the rim, scores, and a foul. Amber Reynolds, the senior guard, called for the foul. Second of the game on Trinity International, first on Reynolds, and the first free throw attempt for either side coming up right now. Saints send Georgia Bolton to the bench. Sierra Mahomes, the senior transfer from Oakland University, comes in. Switek makes it a three-point play. 10-2, St. Francis leads, and Courtney P. calls timeout. Head coach of Trinity International wants to get the offense rolling here. She calls the team off to the sideline. Defensively, they've played, I think, a little bit better than the score would indicate, at least in the last few minutes. St. Francis runs a lot of possessions. They move very quickly. I don't think we've seen their shot clock hit 15 yet today. They've got 10 points through the first 3.5 minutes, but Trinity International not been able to get going at all. Fighting Saints held Calumet St. Joe's to 30 points in their win on Wednesday, which is a good defensive game by most standards, but they actually held them to 5 points in the first half. Calumet did not score in the first quarter of that game on Wednesday. None of the 5 starters played a single minute in the second half when that Calumet score was beefed up a little bit. The starters held them scoreless in the first quarter, and to a combined 5 total points in the half. Saints put on the full court press. Washington beats it, finds a wide open Peck inside, and Audrey Peck lays it in. Nice job by Denaria Washington and Trinity International. Great job breaking the press as St. Francis calls timeout. So a timeout called by the Fighting Saints immediately after Trinity scored following their timeout. John McGinty is obviously not thrilled with the way that last defensive possession went. He's called Braxton Mickens back over to the scorer's table, so Mickens is going to check back in as McGinty tries to shore up the defensive effort. 10-4 our score. St. Francis leading by a half dozen early on here. Saints looking to improve to 2-0 in conference play. They lost just 2 conference games last year. Finished second in the CCAC and then went on to defeat St. Xavier in the CCAC championship. Jordan Pyle backs in, kicks it out to Mickens. Mickens dribbles into the left. Back out to Hannah Switek. Switek drives and kicks. Switek once again finds an open shooter in the corner. Braxton Mickens rattles around the three-pointer and misses. A rare open miss from Mickens. She's been one of the top shooters in the country so far this year. Pull-up jumper misses from Washington from 2-point range. Rebound loose on the floor. We've got a jumble of bodies down there grabbing for it. And the possession arrow is facing Trinity International, so it'll stay here. Mickens, prior to that missed three-pointer, had made 6 of 9 attempts this year. Alina Yonke checks in for St. Francis. Former Trojan, Yonke playing her first game against her old school. She transferred to St. Francis just this year. Here's Denaria Washington. Washington has screens to both sides, dribbles to the right, picked up by Yonke, stripped by Justine Charlesworth. Charlesworth comes away with a nice steal for St. Francis. Quick hands. Here's Hannah Switek giving it up to Yonke. Yonke dribbles right into the defensive pressure of Amos. Gets the ball back though. Switek on the drive. Scoop shot good with the left hand. Pretty drive for Hannah Switek. She's off to a good start today. 5 points for Switek. Washington will look to respond for Trinity. Up top, this is Amber Reynolds. Reynolds, one dribble, back over to Audrey Peck. Sophomore guard Peck passes to her left. Ashley Geisler back up top to Denaria Washington. Under 5 minutes to play in the first. Shot clock is down to 5. Three-pointer, top of the key. Too strong from Washington. Charlesworth grabs the rebound. Braxton Mickens juggled the pass, 2 players in the vicinity, but Mickens is able to pull it in, draws the contact. Can't finish the play, but a nice job by Braxton Mickens to get herself to the free throw line. Mickens is the Fighting Saints' leading scorer so far this season. Came into play today averaging just about 12 points per game. She's only playing 22 minutes, or 21 minutes per contest so far. And she has scored her 12 points on only 7 shots per game. Mickens makes the first free throw. A lot of balance on this St. Francis team. You would think if things are going well, Jordan Pyle would be the leading scorer once everything shakes out, but she hasn't been quite as aggressive to start this season as she was last year when she won the CCAC Player of the Year award. Mickens makes both free throws and checks out. Talia Pellegrini is in. Mia Canelli out there for the first time. Mickens actually stayed in. Charlesworth checked out as a foul is called on St. Francis. It's Pellegrini, Canelli, Mickens, Bolton, and Yonke on the floor right now for St. Francis. This is Amber Reynolds for Trinity International. Lob down low, Gula, triple team, tries to find Geisler outside, and she airmailed her. Geisler listed at 5'7", she were 5'9", I think she would have pulled that one in. But Gula was harried, got rid of it quickly, and couldn't connect. Here's Pellegrini taking it inside. Back out to Canelli, over to the right wing, it's Georgia Bolton. Bounce down low, Yonke. Alina Yonke working down low against her former teammate Gula, who forces the miss. Offensive rebound, Canelli. Pellegrini in with the right hand, kicks it back outside. Here's Yonke up top. Canelli dribbles in with the left. Out to Bolton, 8 to shoot. Georgia Bolton penetrates, off the glass and in. Nice drive by the sophomore Georgia Bolton. Saints lead is up to 12. Their biggest lead so far this afternoon. 3:40 and some change to play in the first quarter. 3-point attempt, Amber Reynolds, way off. Rebounded by Yonke. Yonke throws it away. Battle for the loose ball, and it is finally brought in by Denaria Washington. So the Saints turn it over. Washington into the corner for Amber Reynolds. She dribbles the baseline. Nice bounce pass to Audrey Peck. And Peck hits from 7 feet out. Nice touch from Peck. A beautiful drive and pass prior to that by Amber Reynolds. Here's Bolton. Looking down low for Yonke. Pass deflected by Washington, but right back to Georgia Bolton. Now Yonke in the post. Kicks it outside. Left side, Bolton. Bolton trying to find help. Has Yonke inside against a double team. She's fouled by Braylee Gula. Lena Yonke's a fifth-year senior transfer. Originally from Germany. Spent the last 4 years at Trinity International. Yonke was probably the top player on the Trojans last year, averaged 13 points. Better than 6 rebounds per game. She misses on the first free throw here. So far with the Saints, she's been largely a reserve. She's started twice out of 5 games played this year, averaging 8 points, 5 boards per contest. She makes 1 of 2 from the line, her first point today. Canelli knocks loose the inbounds pass out of bounds. Peck was trying to get it into Ashley Geisler. They'll try it again. Inbounded to Kaya Albert. And Albert has it taken away. Good defense by Mia Canelli. Anna Switek down low, passes outside. Canelli thought about the 3, puts it on the floor instead. Switek drives, kicks. Charlesworth for 3, that's off. Rebound chased down by Jordan Pyle. Switek resets for the Fighting Saints, shot clock at 15. Charlesworth for 3. Got it this time. 2 attempts on the possession for Justine Charlesworth. And the second one goes down for her. Charlesworth makes it a 20-6 game. 42% three-point shooter for the season. Lobbed out of bounds. Aggressive defense from the Fighting Saints forces a giveaway for Trinity. And with a 14-point edge and just over 2 minutes to play in the first quarter, St. Francis gets the ball back. Kennelly up top. Over to Charlesworth. Thought about another 3, but Washington closed in quickly. Nice defense by Denaria Washington. Now Yonke backing in. Steps back. Fires into the corner. Nice fake by Pyle. Kicks it out to Switek. Open 3. Good. Switek stays hot here in the first quarter. It's a 17-point lead for the Fighting Saints. Good setup there by Jordan Pyle, who picks up the assist. Washington crosses over, passes to the left. It's Geisler into the corner, down low, looking for Amos, off her fingertips, and Yonke comes away with the steal. Switek down to Pyle, quick pass, Justine Charlesworth, another 3. And another assist for Jordan Pyle. That's 2 in a row for her. The Saints have hit 3-pointers on each of their last 3 possessions. 2 for Justine Charlesworth, 1 for Hannah Switek. Amos drives on Yonke. Good defense from the senior center. Forces the miss. Pyle quickly takes it the other way. Off to Charlesworth again. Not this time. Charlesworth is unable to make it 3 in a row for her. It would have been 4 in a row for the Saints. Instead, Trinity gets the ball back, trailing 26-8 in the final minute of the first quarter. Denaria Washington circles the perimeter, drives and sends it down to the corner. 3-pointer from Albert misses. Rebound tipped out of bounds by Trinity. Graffio and Mahomes back in for St. Francis. Trinity goes to Allison Noriega for the first time. Junior guard off of Courtney P's bench. Hannah Switek drives around Washington, blocked by Peck. Good drive by Switek to get around the point guard, but could not contend with Audrey Peck at the rim. Trinity can take the last shot if they want it. Instead, they go quickly, and it works out very nicely for them as Gula lays it in. This will be the last possession of the first quarter for St. Francis. Hannah Switek has it poked away by Washington. Washington's got time to streak the other way and lay it in at the buzzer. Nice end to the first quarter for Trinity International as they score back-to-back buckets. A good inside move from Gula, and then a swipe and layup on the other end for Denaria Washington. So Trinity is able to go into the quarter break with a little momentum, but it is St. Francis up big at the end of the first 10-minute period of today's game. They got off to a hot start. Built a 20-point lead before Trinity was able to cut it down to 16 at the break here. St. Francis shooting better than 50% from the field so far, and they have been very good, especially these last few minutes on 3-pointers. Justine Charlesworth hit a couple, and Hannah Switek hit one as well. They're 4 of 10 from beyond the 3-point line for the game. St. Francis leaders so far through a quarter of play. Hannah Switek has scored 8 points. Justine Charlesworth has matched her with 8, and Jordan Pyle's got 5. Pyle has also chipped in with a couple of rebounds and 3 assists. She's also blocked 1 shot. So 5 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block for Jordan Pyle. She's filled the stat sheet, and that's something we've certainly been accustomed to seeing from her over the last couple of years. Trinity International got off to a very slow start. They are 5 of 16 from the field so far, 31%. They have not connected from 3-point range, 0 for 4 from beyond the arc so far today. Turnover is always a big thing when you're facing St. Francis as well. A lot of defensive pressure. They forced 5 and committed only 2. The first quarter stats for you right there. And now we're underway in the second quarter. And those stats have become irrelevant very quickly. Mahomes on the drive, lays it in over Gula. Good first step for Sierra Mahomes. She's got her first 2 points of the afternoon. Lead is 18. It's been as big as 20. Washington had the big steal and layup to end the first. Lobbed in for Amos, stripped by Jordan Pyle. She's got herself a steal now. Jordan Pyle drives with the left hand around Audrey Peck. Can't connect on the layup, but grabs her own rebound. Out to Hannah Switek for three. In and out this time. Rebound to Peck. Washington drives with the left, floats it up and misses. Rebounded by Switek. Ahead for Sierra Mahomes. Mahomes into the corner. Charlesworth left all alone, and she makes him pay. Third three-pointer of the game for Justine Charlesworth, who's got 11 points now. Can't usually afford to leave anybody that open, and especially not somebody who's shooting three-pointers at a 42% clip. Trinity just lost track of her. Washington passes to her right. This is Noriega. Dribble to her left, fires the three. No good with Mahomes in on the defense, and the rebound deflects out of bounds. Talia Pellegrini back on the floor for St. Francis, the reserve point guard for the Fighting Saints. She and Georgia Bolton make up the backcourt with Graffio, Mahomes, and Charlesworth. Into Mahomes right now, working against Noriega, misses, grabs her own rebound, has it stripped by Noriega, out of bounds. Last touch by Allison Noriega. 18 on the shot clock, still St. Francis ball. Ashley Geiser's in for Noriega as the inbounds pass comes to Bolton. Bounce down low to Mahomes. Turnaround is good off the glass. Working her way around Braylee Gula. Mahomes has 4 for the Fighting Saints. The lead is now a game-high 23. Lob down low, Gula. Gula working against Pellegrini in the post. Misses too hard off the glass. The rebound deflected out to Justine Charlesworth. Here's Pellegrini leading the charge. Out to Bolton. Left wing three misses. Offensive rebound, Charlesworth. Out to Graffio. Her first three-point attempt of the game misses. Bolton tries to track down another offensive rebound, but tips it out of bounds. Braxton Mickens, Mia Kennelly back in for the Fighting Saints. Here's Washington getting the full court pressure from Talia Pellegrini. Works her way across the timeline. Dribbles around Bolton. All the way inside. Her pass is deflected. Patty Black couldn't pull it in. And the Saints are going the other way. Here's Braxton Mickens, blocked by Washington. Nice play by Denaria Washington. Washington had made a good pass on the other side. Hattie Black mishandled it. Led to a turnover. So Washington recovered quickly, got back to the other end to block Braxton Mickens. Alina Yonke back in for the Saints, backing in on Gula. Up to the left side and puts it in. Trinity has not scored since the end of the first quarter. They put their last 2 points in at the buzzer. So the drought lasts just over 3 minutes, and it continues as the three-pointer misses from Denaria Washington. Mickens lobs it down low for Yonke. Yonke blocked by Washington, gets her own miss and sends it off to Pellegrini. Pellegrini unable to finish as well, and she's called for the foul. First foul on St. Francis. First foul of the quarter, almost 3.5 minutes into it. Denaria Washington across half court, walks it to the right. Yonke, few steps back of her on defense. Washington passes up top, now around to the left side. Geisler for three, off the backboard, no good. Tries to grab her own rebound, instead deflects it over to Braylee Gula. Three-pointer Washington, good. So the scoring drought lasts just under 4 minutes, and Washington finally gets back on the board. Mickens out to Canelli. Canelli fakes left, dribbles to the right. Down to the corner, it's Josie Graffio for three. No good. Long rebound out to Gula. Trinity International slows it down. This is Washington. Into the paint, Gula kicks it into the corner. Three-pointer is good from Amber Reynolds. Trinity had not made a three-pointer through the first 13 and a half minutes of this game. Now they've hit on back-to-back attempts, and their deficit is 19. Pellegrini, down low to Yankee. Layup is good. Nice setup from Pellegrini. Good finish from Alina Yankee. Just about at the halfway point of the second quarter. Reynolds dribbles and kicks. Off to the right side, Gula, jumper from two-point range misses. Canelli grabs the rebound. Freshman streaks down the floor. Nobody picks her up. All the way to the basket. Misses on the layup. Yankee second chance, no. Yankee third chance. She's fouled. Fouled by Gula. She'll go up to the line for two.
Fouls on Trinity number 30, Braylee Gula, her second.
Second foul on Gula. Switek, Pyle, and Charlesworth back in, so 4 of the 5 starters are on the floor for St. Francis. Two shots for Yankee. She's 1 of 2 from the free throw line so far today. She makes her first. One more shot coming here. And once again, she makes 1 of 2, but Jordan Pyle grabs the offensive rebound. Nice pass, Switek into Mickens, who misses from the baseline. Pyle grabs another offensive rebound. I think that's 4 offensive rebounds in the game for Jordan Pyle. Switek misses on the three. Sarah Mahomes is in for Alina Yankee. Big lead for St. Francis late in the first half. Trinity International has started to heat up a little bit from the outside. We'll see if they can get themselves back in the game by continuing that trend. Pass inside is deflected. Loose ball picked up by Jordan Pyle. No look pass ahead to Mahomes. The layup is good. And we got a foul. Late whistle. Mahomes is going to the line. So a chance at a three-point play here for Sierra Mahomes off the feed from Jordan Pyle. Just took a look at the stats. She does have 4 offensive rebounds. Just had to make sure I was correct there. And she's now got 4 assists too. Sierra Mahomes has 6 points in the game. 3 for 3 from the line this year. She remains perfect. 4 for 4 on free throws this year. Trinity International calls timeout with 4:16 to play, 41-16. What a big swing this last minute. St. Francis has been dominating since the opening tip of this game. But Trinity was starting to shoot the ball a little bit better. They had come up with a couple of stops. Even when they were down 21-22, it felt like they had an opportunity to get into it with a couple more three-pointers. And the last time they had the ball, they were not even able to get a shot off. It was an unforced turnover, and they threw the ball away. And then the Saints turned it into 3 points on the other end. Saints have led throughout here. They scored on their opening possession. So their last 2 games, not only have they not trailed, they've only been tied for about 15 to 20 total seconds. Pretty good start to conference play for the Fighting Saints. Here's Geisler down in the corner. Geisler steps out of bounds. Good pressure from Mickens and Switek. Switek walks it to the right side for St. Francis, trying to add to their already sizable lead. Charlesworth for three. Another one for Justine Charlesworth. Her fourth made three-pointer today. The lead is 28. Reynolds down low looking for Amos, knocked out of her hands by Sierra Mahomes, out of bounds. It stays with the Trojans.
Checking into the game for Trinity, number 10, Tunisia Graves. And for the Saints, number 10, Georgia Bolton.
Substitutions for both sides. Bolton is back in for the Fighting Saints. They stick with 4 of their 5 starters on the floor, plus Mahomes. Three-pointer is no good. Rebound, Amos back up and in. Off the miss from Tunisia Graves. Second chance effort right there for the Trojans. Jordan Pyle out to Bolton. Three-pointer, good. Saints been lighting it up from the outside. They are on pace to score 100 for the second consecutive game. Of course, a long way to go here. They've made the second most three-pointers in the nation as Amos misses down low, but she's fouled by Mahomes.
Foul is on the Saints, number 1, Sarah Mahomes. Chikaya Amos shooting 2.
St. Francis hits on 11 three-pointers per game on average. As I said, that is second best in the country. First free throw good from Amos. So far today, they've already hit 7 three-pointers. So they're on pace to surpass their average even as Amos connects on both free throws. 47-20 our score with just under 3 minutes to play in the first half. Switek works her way down low, finds Yankee at the free throw line, missed on the jumper. Rebound tipped into the hands of Georgia Bolton. Another opportunity for the Fighting Saints. Switek crosses over, spins down low, kicks it to the right wing. Nice fake by Pyle. Pull up from just inside the free throw line, no good. Another chance for Yankee. Saints come up empty on 3 opportunities on that trip down the floor. Here's Denaria Washington on the run. Off the glass, no good, and knocked out of bounds by Audrey Peck. Saints ball. So this game a little bit out of control on that last possession for Trinity, moving at slightly too fast a speed. Three-pointer Charlesworth looking for her 5th of the game, but she comes up short. Now we're going through a little bit of a scoring drought. It's been over a minute since either team has put the ball in the basket. Washington picks up her dribble and passes off to Amos. Her three-point attempt misses too long, rebounded by Peck. Trinity has created some second chance opportunities for themselves these last few moments. Second chance points a couple of possessions ago. We'll see if they can do it again. Amos working against Yankee, who knocks it away. Ahead for Jordan Pyle. It's one-on-one. Pyle is able to control herself and score with Graves in pursuit. Nicely done by Jordan Pyle. Under a minute and a half to play in the second quarter. Here's Reynolds at the free throw line, driving to the left side, fouled by Bolton.
Foul is on the Saints, number 10, Georgia Bolton. Amber Reynolds shooting 2.
Nearly a 30-point advantage for St. Francis. Trinity International trying to do what they did in the first quarter, which is get a few buckets late and at least give themselves some momentum, some positive feelings heading into the quarter break. They're trying to end the second quarter on a little bit of a run as well. Reynolds makes both free throws. Free throw shooting has definitely been a positive for Trinity this half. Jordan Pyle to Alina Yankee at the high post. Gets it outside to Pyle. Pyle drives along the baseline, fights it up in traffic, and scores off the glass. Pyle has done it all here in the first half today. Amber Reynolds with under a minute to play. Walks to the right wing. Guarded by Pyle. Looking down low for Graves. Couldn't find her. Reynolds takes it herself. Now picks it up and passes outside to Graves. Graves drives down the lane, and she's fouled on the floor. Just the fourth foul on St. Francis. Resets the shot clock to 20.
On the Saints number 10, Georgia Bolton, her second.
Reynolds in the corner. Working in on Pyle, kicks it outside. This is Graves on the wing. Graves pulls up the free throw line, kicks it back out. Reynolds loses it out of bounds. It was last touched by Jordan Pyle. 9 on the shot clock. It'll stay with Trinity.
Trinity ball.
Twanasia Graves will inbound after the officials have a quick discussion. Not sure what this is regarding. They seem to be okay. Well, 9 to shoot here for Trinity. 30 seconds to play in the half. Reynolds up top, around a screen from Peck. Gives it up to Gula off her fingertips, out of bounds. This will probably be the final possession for St. Francis. Under 20 seconds to play in the first half. It's been all Saints so far today. They have not trailed nor been tied since that first possession. Switek makes the move at 8 seconds. Around a screen to the left. Switek all the way inside. Gives it up to Pyle. Three-pointer is off the mark. And the first half comes to a close. So they come up empty on their final possession of the half, but more often than not, they were pretty successful on the offensive end. After 20 minutes of basketball here at the Sullivan Center, our score is St. Francis 51, Trinity International 22. I'll be back in about 15 minutes, get you some stats from the first half, and then we'll be ready to go with half number 2. St. Francis, dominant so far today, a big lead over the Trojans. Halftime here in Joliet. We're moments away from the start of half number 2. So far it's been all St. Francis. They lead Trinity International 51-22. Welcome back to the broadcast. Terry Bonadonna with you for another 20 minutes of basketball. Let's take a look at some of the first half stats. Leading scorer for the Fighting Saints is Justine Charlesworth. She's got 14 points, 6 rebounds as well for Charlesworth, who's gone 5 of 9 from the field. Jordan Pyle has really filled the stat sheet today. 9 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. She had a sensational first half. On pace right now for a triple-double. I highly doubt she'll get the opportunity to finish that off, because if the score remains trending the way it is, I don't think we'll see a lot of the starters in the second half, but still a great first half for Jordan Pyle. Saints also got 7 points off the bench from Sierra Mahomes, 6 from Alina Yonke. They're shooting 42% from the field, 35% for 3. Trinity International much below them in both categories. And the Saints, of course, dominating on the glass as well. 31 rebounds compared to 16. Leading scorer for Trinity International is Jakaya Amos, who has 6 points. She's also one of 4 Trojans tied for the team lead with 3 rebounds so far today. We're underway in the second half. Denaria Washington starts it off for Trinity International. Bounce down low to Gula, who kicks it outside to Audrey Peck. Peck's pass into the paint is deflected by Pyle, and Pyle is fouled by Gula. Third foul on Braylee Gula. First foul of the half, 14 seconds in. "29 points is the largest lead for St. Francis. They'll try to add to it right here as Jordan Pyle drives and kicks corner 3. Bolton misses. Offensive rebound, Justine Charlesworth, her 7th rebound today. There's Pyle on the right wing. 3-point attempt, no good. Rebound tipped out of the hands of Peck, out of bounds, last touched by Braxton Mickens. Mickens entered play today as the Saints' leading scorer for the season, averaging just under 12 points per game, but she was doing it on 67% shooting. Today, just 2 points on 0 of 3 from the field. Saints haven't needed her. Gula throws it away. She was, I think, looking for Peck. The pass ended up between Peck and Reynolds, and neither one of them went for it. And it looks like Gula's telling Reynolds right now that was intended for you. Either way, neither one of them went after the ball, and they both just watched as it went out of bounds. So a miscommunication. Bolton lobs it to the left elbow. It's Jordan Pyle, loses the ball, gets it back, drives, lays it up and in. Jakaya Amos was with her step for a little bit there on that drive, but did not end up challenging the shot. And Jordan Pyle is the second Saint in double figures, 11 points for her. Washington fires it into Amos. Amos drives, stripped by Pyle, out of bounds. It'll stay with Trinity. Mentioned that the Saints' leading scorer for the season is having a quiet day today. So is the Trojans. Denaria Washington leads the team with 13 points per game, or rather 15 points per game, but today she's got just 5 on 2 of 8 shooting. Amos is stripped once again. Second time in a row that Pyle strips Amos out of bounds, and again it stays with Trinity. Inbounds pass to Gula, shot clock under 10. Gula drives on Pyle, no good. Here's Georgia Bolton taking it the other way. Bolton out to Mickens. Mickens works it inside. Now halted and sends it back out around the perimeter. Good defense from Trinity on this possession. Saints respond though with good ball movement. It's Braxton Mickens working inside, left hand up off the glass and in. First field goal of the game for Braxton Mickens. She's got 4 points. Here's Denaria Washington, dribbling it outside, passed off to the right. It's Reynolds. Up to Gula. Half the shot clock gone as Gula gives it to Washington on the left. One dribble, lobbed in for Gula, deflected by Charlesworth. Gula pulls it in though, passes back out to Washington, who comes up short on the 3-point attempt. Braxton Mickens leads the break. It's 3-on-2. Mickens down to the corner. Charlesworth wide open 3, no good. Rebound tipped into the hands of Braxton Mickens, who is fouled going up. Nice job by Braxton Mickens, leading the 3-on-2 break moments ago. Set up an open 3 for Charlesworth. Charlesworth Was not able to complete it though. Mickens stuck with it, so she'll get 2 free throws.
Her second personal foul.
Right after getting the headband back on.
Braxton Mickens shooting 2.
That was knocked off her head the last time the Saints had the ball. I was watching her down on the other end. She was desperately trying to find a place to put it. She ultimately tucked it into her waistband, and now finally a break in the action. She's able to get it back on the head. She misses on the first free throw short. Apparently not well enough, not to Jordan Pyle's liking. She's got to straighten that thing out. Second free throw. She missed them both. So Mickens is stuck at 4 points. Washington stolen on the pass by Hannah Switek. Tried to get it down low to Giesler. To no avail. Here's Mickens inside, fouled again, and she completes the shot. Audrey Peck, none too pleased with the foul call. But Mickens, who missed 2 free throws the last time around, has a chance to get at least one of them back right here, trying to make this a 3-point play. She scored the last 4 for the Fighting Saints. And now she scored the last 5 points for St. Francis. Mia Kennelly is in for Braxton Mickens. 7:17 to play in the third. Game high 35-point lead for the Fighting Saints. Trinity has not yet scored here in the second half. Washington trying to break the press, but the ball is poked out of her hands from behind. Switek comes away with it. Switek spins into the lane, no good on the shot. Rebounded by Gula, lobbed ahead, and this is Amber Reynolds laying it in off the feed from Denaria Washington. So much as in the second quarter, it took Trinity 3 minutes to get on the board, but they are on the board now. First points of the second half. Jordan Pyle drives right side on Gula. Can't connect on the pull-up, and the rebound is knocked out of bounds by Kennelly. Lorelei Thormeyer, the freshman guard, is in for the first time for St. Francis as Hannah Switek grabs a seat. Washington, 5'9" tall point guard, passes off to the right side. Here's a drive by Amber Reynolds, who's fouled on the floor.
Reaching foul on the Saints, Mia Kennelly. Her
second foul on Kennelly. First foul on the team. Geisler, step back 3. Way off. Rebound to Georgia Bolton. Here's Thormeyer. Thormeyer cuts through the defense and lays it in. Probably the easiest drive she'll have all season. Nobody picked her up for Trinity. They all just watched her go by. 3-pointer on the other end. No good from Hattie Black. And the rebound goes to the Saints. Here's Thormeyer. Passing out to Kennelly. Into the corner, Charlesworth. Good from Jordan Pyle. Justine Charlesworth hits her 5th 3-pointer of the game, and the lead is up to 39 for the Fighting Saints. Timeout called by Trinity International. Saints pulled away in the first half. They are not letting up so far here in the second. They've outscored Trinity since halftime, 12-2. Jordan Pyle picked up another assist on that last shot. She's got 6 assists for the game now to lead the team. Justine Charlesworth now with 5 3-pointers in the game, has 17 total points. Both Pyle and Charlesworth closing in on double-doubles. Pyle's got 11.7 rebounds. And Charlesworth has 17 points and 8 rebounds. So good statistical day for a couple of Fighting Saints today, but it's been a team effort. Last week against Calumet, I guess not really last week, just 3 days ago, That 89-point victory over the Crimson Wave. They got scoring contributions from 13 different players. Today, 8 players have found the bottom of the net for St. Francis, and plenty of time to add to that. Lorelei Thormeyer, the most recent player to get her name on the stat sheet with her layup a couple of possessions ago, remains on the floor. Josie Graffio is out there now as well. Alina Yonke, Justine Charlesworth, and Mia Canelli remain in. The Saints put on a full court press, nearly forced the turnover. Thormeyer falling on the floor trying to save that one. It does end up out of bounds though. Denaria Washington sets it up for the Trojans. Kicked out to Amber Reynolds. She's bumped on the outside by Thormeyer.
Foul was on the Saints, number 3, Lorelei Thormeyer. Her first personal.
Washington's having some trouble getting it in. Finally finds Hattie Black. Black passes to the cutting Geisler, who kicks it out to the open Gula. Gula misses the jumper. Thormeyer takes it the other way. Thormeyer dishes off last second to Alina Yonke. Into the corner, Graffio. Josie Graffio kicks it out to Thormeyer, and the Saints reset. Good defense by Trinity International. Graffio from the wing, poked away by Washington. She lets it go out of bounds. It'll stay with St. Francis. Tierra Mahomes in for St. Francis. Graffio heads to the bench. Jakaya Amos back in for Trinity for Ashley Geisler. Charlesworth will inbound for the Fighting Saints here. 12 seconds to shoot. Here's Thormeyer. Off to Canelli. Mahomes on the wing. 5 on the shot clock. Mahomes drives, baseline, kicks it out. Stepped on the line. Halfway through this third quarter, St. Francis has slowed down their offensive pace just slightly. The defense has remained on track, though they've allowed just 2 points here in the second half so far. Gula inside to Amos, working against Yonke. Kicked up top to Reynolds, who fires up a wild 2-point jumper. Rebound's deflected out of bounds, last touch by Trinity. Not sure what Reynolds was doing there, whether she thought she could coax a foul or if she misread the clock. Otherwise, not a real smart shot there. She misread something in the situation, and the Saints end up taking over. This is Canelli passing it to Mahomes out of her hands, but she's able to track it down. Mahomes gives it to Charlesworth. Justine Charlesworth slices through the defense, but blocked by Denaria Washington. Washington takes it the other way, 2-on-2. Mahomes turns away Amber Reynolds out of bounds. What a block by Sierra Mahomes. I don't know if Reynolds felt her coming in from behind. Bolton is in for Mahomes, who's hobbling a little bit off that big block. 25 on the shot clock for Washington and company. Sends it into Reynolds, lays it up and in. Nice work by Amber Reynolds coming around the screen and laying it in off the inbounds play. Second field goal of the quarter for Trinity International. Charlesworth gives it to Bolton at the top. Wide open 3. Georgia Bolton cannot connect. Here's Amber Reynolds. Over to Washington. Down to the post. This is Amos working against Graffio. Not able to finish. Knocked out of bounds by the Trojans. So Graffio holds her ground defensively as Switek and Mickens check back in for the Saints. Switek across half court. Over to Kennelly. She drives and kicks. Braxton Mickens at the free throw line. Gets it to Georgia Bolton. Bolton works her way inside. Pulls up in the lane. Up over Gula. No good off the glass. And it's tipped out of bounds on the rebound. It'll go to the Trojans.
Checks into the game for the Trojans.
Graves is back in for Trinity. Out there with Reynolds, Peck, Washington, and Gula. And Graves throws it away, looking for Washington. It's intercepted by Switek. Ahead for Braxton Mickens, through her hands and out of bounds. Saints turn it over only 2 times in the first half. We'll call a timeout here. Just over 3 minutes to play in the third. 63-26 is our score. Saints are going through their worst scoring drought of the game, over 2 minutes since their last field goal. Again, just 2 turnovers in the entire first half for St. Francis. Trinity had turned it over through the first half 10 times. Big part of the reason the Saints were able to build as big a lead as they were. Here in the second half, Saints have been pretty good with the basketball once again. Although an unforced turnover just moments ago led to the John McGinty timeout. Their 4th turnover of the game. Trinity's committed 15 of them. Saints currently shooting 41% from the field, just 26% for Trinity International. Saints back on the floor with Graffio, Bolton, Switek, Kennelly, and Mickens. Just announced a score update from St. Francis football game. They're down by 10 at the start of the 4th quarter. Big sports day here for University of St. Francis. The football team playing the de facto conference championship game down on the south side of Chicago against St. Xavier. So far here, been pretty easy going for the Fighting Saints basketball squad. A big lead as Gula drives to the rim, scores, and gets the foul.
Foul is on the Saints, number 12, Josie Graffio. Braylee Gula shooting 1.
Gula to the line here, trying to make it a 3-point play. Trinity has not missed from the free throw line so far. They're a combined 4 for 4. And Gula makes her shot as well. A 3-point play. And the Trojans are within 34 here late in the 3rd quarter. Switek drives, tries to get it out to Graffio, but it's deflected out by Audrey Peck. Saints trying to break this scoring drought here. It's been over 3 minutes. Switek drives, lays it up, no. Rebound grabbed by Gula. In some trouble, Gula falling out of bounds, saves it to Audrey Peck. Graffio reaches in and forces the tie-up. Possession arrow favors St. Francis. They've got a big lead, but their offense has been sputtering the last few minutes. They're trying to get back on the board right here. Switek out to Mickens. Through the hands of Josie Graffio, but she keeps it alive. Bounce down low, it's Alina Yonke working in the post against Gula. Nice find of a cutting Graffio, but too strong off the glass. Graffio misses, and that's the call here. Saints are going to keep it. We got a foul on St. Francis, so Saints will not keep it. Foul is on Mickens as Graffio checks out and Leilani Harris comes in for the first time. Freshman out of Marist High School on the south side of Chicago. Washington gives it up to Gula. Kicked outside. This is a Graves three-pointer. It's no good. Rebound tracked down by Harris. So she is very quickly on the stat sheet. Harris down to the corner for Mickens. Back up top, Leilani Harris drives with the left hand. Layup is good. Harris very aggressive coming in. Getting a rebound and a bucket just after checking in. That snaps a 4-minute, 20-second scoreless streak for the Fighting Saints. Audrey Peck's turnaround on the other end is no good. Defensive pressure for Reynolds nearly took it away, but now she falls out of the play. It's 5-on-4. Switek takes it into a double team and has it stolen. Good steal for Trinity. Washington, the other side, layup, yes, got the roll. Timeout called by St. Francis. Minute 2 to play in the third quarter. 34-point lead for the Fighting Saints. It's a 30-second timeout here. Leilani Harris is the 9th Fighting Saint to find the scoreboard today. I mentioned earlier 13 different Saints scored in their blowout win over Calumet earlier this week. John McGinty was a little bit more liberal with his substitutions earlier in that game. This one a little bit closer. He's been keeping his starters in a little bit more, giving them some more action here in this CCAC contest. Saints started the year out with 3 non-conference games, including an event up in Wisconsin at Cardinal Stritch, which is technically a conference opponent, but they didn't play Cardinal Stritch in that weekend event last week. They played a couple of teams from Indiana, Marion and St. Francis. They split it. Here's Braxton Mickens. Floater is no good off the back iron. Rebounded by Gula. Final minute of the quarter. Gula crosses court. It's Graves for 3. Short. Mickens grabs the rebound. Here's Pellegrini, a little bit out of control. Flips the ball out to Yonke, and Yonke's fouled. Fouled by Amber Reynolds. Talia Pellegrini lost control on that drive, but it all worked out as she was able to keep her wherewithal to throw it to the outside, if that makes any sense. Yonke drew the foul. It's the 4th on Trinity, 2nd on Amber Reynolds. Freshman Pellegrini will inbound here. Charlesworth fires the 3. It's good. 6 3-pointers in the game for Justine Charlesworth. She's got 20 points to lead all scorers today. 6 seconds to play in the quarter. Gula takes it inside, throws up a wild one and misses. Out of bounds with 2 seconds to play. St. Francis touched it last. Denaria Washington will inbound. Into Reynolds. Reynolds long 2 at the buzzer is no good. And so the third quarter comes to a close. 37-point lead for St. Francis, 68-31. Saints were up by 29 at the end of the first half, so they were able to extend that lead during that 10-minute period, despite the fact that it was their slowest offensive quarter of the game. And that was in large part due to who was out there and who wasn't. Jordan Pyle spent a good chunk of that third quarter on the bench. We saw all of the starters shuffled in and out. John McGinty has been using his bench. And late in the quarter, we started to see a few players who had not yet appeared. Leilani Harris had a couple of good minutes in there. Lorelei Thormeyer did as well. So we'll see how much of these key players we're going to see in the fourth quarter. It looks like Charlesworth and Mickens will still be out there, so a couple of the starters are going to remain on the floor for the Fighting Saints. 20 points so far for Justine Charlesworth, leads the way. Jordan Pyle's got 11. So 2 Saints in double figures. Pyle also leads the team with 6 assists, while Charlesworth is pacing the squad with 8 rebounds. so far today. So they've been the two stars for the Fighting Saints in this game. Trinity International, up to this point, has been led by Amber Reynolds and her 9 points. Denaria Washington has 7. Those two, though, have been held to a combined 6 for 16 shooting, although that is significantly higher than the rest of the team. 27% from the field today for Trinity International. The Saints have actually not shot the ball as well as they would like to. They were over 50% in the first quarter, but have struggled ever since then with the shot. They've forced a lot of turnovers. They've gotten a lot of offensive rebounds, and as a result, they've created a lot of opportunities for themselves so that they've been able to put up a big offensive number even without a high shooting percentage. Amber Reynolds gives it up to Washington. Denaria Washington circles the perimeter. Looking down low, finds Gula. Gula is blocked by Yankee, and a foul is called.
Shooting foul was on the Saints number 10, Georgia Bolton, her third.
Braylee Gula will shoot 2 free throws here. Foul is on Alina Yankee. I think they're checking on that right now. They credited it to Georgia Bolton, who's not in the game, so it is on Yankee. Gula misses the free throw. First missed free throw of the game for the Trojans. They are 5 of 6 on free throws today. Now 5 of 7 as Gula misses them both. Harris grabs the rebound. Here's Talia Pellegrini. Charlesworth. Here's Harris cutting inside. Harris, nice work on Audrey Peck. Scooping it up with the right hand and in. 4 points for Harris. Washington takes it down to the baseline. Step back jumper, no good. Rebounded by the former Trojan Yankee. Pellegrini works it the other way. Out to Charlesworth, open 3. Cannot hit her 7th as Yankee loses it out of bounds. Gula touched it last. It'll stay with the Fighting Saints. Shot clock at 20 with 9 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Pellegrini gets it into Charlesworth, drives with the left hand, pulls up, passes out to Pellegrini for 3. In and out, and back in again. Talia Pellegrini connects. 42-point lead for the Fighting Saints as Pellegrini hits her first 3 points of the game. This is Twinasia Graves working in on Harris. Back outside, Reynolds, long 2, short. Rebound tipped around out of the hands of Pellegrini and tracked down by Braylee Gula. Washington, little runner is no good. Harris has been very productive since coming in late in the third quarter. She grabbed the rebound there, sets up Charlesworth for 3, no good. Mickens, second chance, missed it. Yankee, third chance is good. The Saints have gotten the offense rolling once again here in the fourth quarter after they slowed things down a little bit in the third. Turnaround from Graves misses. The rebound goes to Yankee, who is grabbed on the arm. .7:44 to play in the fourth. Canelli and Graffio are back in for the Saints. Kaylee Ford out there for the first time as John McGinty clears the floor of starters. So we may be done with the starting 5 the rest of the way now. It's Pellegrini, Harris, Canelli, Ford, and Graffio. Harris drives with the right hand all the way to the rim, no good. Well defended that time by Peck. Graves sends it down to Washington, out in front of the pack. Washington lays it in. Pellegrini slows it down for the Saints. Harris over to Canelli on the left wing. Back out to Harris. Down low, Kaylee Ford working one-on-one with Jakaya Amos. Amos strips it. Ford gets it back. Pellegrini crossover at the top. Foul going up. Kalia Pellegrini is headed to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Fouls on Trinity, number 23, Amber Reynolds.
First free throw is good from Talia Pellegrini. She's got 5 points here in the 4th quarter. Pellegrini playing well late for the Fighting Saints. 3 freshmen on the floor right now for the Saints. Pellegrini along with Kennelly and Harris. Saints have been playing a lot of freshmen so far this year. As Hattie Black loses it, Graffio comes away with the steal. They had some holes they needed to fill. And a lot of new players for St. Francis this year as Graffio, who is not one of them technically, is bumped on her way to the basket. She'll go to the free throw line. She's a returning player who missed all of last season with an injury. Yankees new, Mahomes is new. Both transferred in, and then you've got Kennelly, Pellegrini, Harris, and Thormeyer, who are all freshmen who have played today. None of those young players are going to be asked to carry the team, but they may be asked to play big minutes in important games. It's good to see that they're getting a lot of action here in a game like this now that they've got a chance with a blowout lead in the 4th quarter. Canaria Washington hands the ball off to Tonasia Graves. Pellegrini pokes her hands in, can't get the ball away from Amos. Harris knocks it off of Amos, out of bounds. Saints get it on the steal. Thormeyer is back in for Graffio. Kennelly up top to Ford. Back over to Harris. 3-pointer is good for Leilani Harris. Harris has had a big game off the bench in very limited minutes. The lead is up to 48 for the Fighting Saints. Washington lobs it into the cutting Amos, who floats it up and in, and one. Good pass and a good finish, withstanding the contact for Jakaya Amos. Kaylee Ford checks out. Another freshman checks in for the Fighting Saints. Autumn Scholl makes her first appearance. Actually, Scholl's a sophomore. Transferred in from Ellsworth Community College, but her first year with the Fighting Saints. Free throw is good. It's a 3-point play. Here's Scholl on the right elbow. Looking for help, finding Harris. Around the screen from Scholl, Harris takes it inside, lays it up and in. Leilani Harris is closing in on double figures. She's got 9 points now for the Fighting Saints and just about 5 minutes of action. Jumper misses short, and Harris grabs the rebound. Pellegrini fires it to the outside. Kennelly, long three, got it. First points of the game for Mia Kennelly. And the lead is 50 for St. Francis. Trinity International calls timeout. 5 minutes to play in this one. Saints appear to be on their way to their 3rd consecutive win. After taking down Calumet by 89 on Wednesday, this 50-point lead here in the 4th quarter seems rather pedestrian for the Fighting Saints, but they're playing well right now. After taking a 20-point loss last week to Marion, they've bounced back very nicely from that. Marion, the 7th ranked team in the country, so No shame in losing to them, but they didn't compete, I know, the way that John McGinty and his staff would have preferred. Here in the CCAC so far, they've been dominant. .504 to play. And it's Trinity basketball coming out of the break here. Ashley Geyser will inbound. Not sure what we're waiting for. Well, it looks like one of the officials is having a conversation with Courtney P. over on the Trinity International sideline. Now we're ready to play. Inbounded to Reynolds. Peck down to the post. Amos loses control of it, and Pellegrini scoops up the loose ball. Harris out to Kennelly. St. Francis slows it down a bit. Now a drive from Pellegrini. Got right around Ashley Geisler, and she lays it in. Foul called on the Fighting Saints. Just their third, so it'll stay with Trinity International on the floor here. Third foul on Kennelly. Another whistle on the inbounds play here. It's against St. Francis once again. Amber Reynolds receives the inbounds pass. Kicked out to Amos. Amos to the basket. Floats it in. Nice drive by Jakaya Amos. She's got 11 points for Trinity. First Trojan in double figures today. Pellegrini drives again, another layup. This time she misses. Kennelly grabs the rebound, blocked by Peck, but Autumn Scholl is there with the follow. Scholl's got her first points of the day. This is Kaya Albert. Pass to Amos is deflected and taken away by the Saints. Albert maybe was a little too close to Amos as she tried to make that pass. Pellegrini layup on the other end, no good. Another offensive rebound for Scholl and another putback. Back-to-back putbacks for Autumn Scholl. She's got 4 points. The St. Francis lead is 54. Reynolds passes off to Kaya Albert. Feigns the shot, dribbles, and passes back outside to Reynolds. Albert this time takes the three. It's short. And the rebound grabbed by Scholl once again. Autumn Scholl's got 3 straight rebounds, 5'11" reserve forward. Traveling is called. A turnover for St. Francis as Kaylee Ford checks in for Mia Kennelly. So it's Pellegrini, Thormeyer, Harris, Scholl, and Ford on the floor right now. Trinity's got Geisler, Reynolds, Black, Amos, and Peck for the final 3 minutes. Drive from Reynolds. Missed it off the glass. Rebound Harris. Pellegrini ahead to Thormeyer, right side. Thormeyer works her way in. Back out to Harris. Harris for 3. Off the back iron. And the rebound tracked down by Amber Reynolds. Lobbed ahead. Amos saves it from going out of bounds, but she touched it a second time. And she was standing on the baseline as she touched it again. So it looked like initially she had saved it, but she ends up turning it over. Harris checks out. Kennelly back in for St. Francis. 2.5 minutes on the clock. Scholl on the left. Up top to Thormeyer, around the screen to the left side. Gives it to Kaylee Ford. Ford works her way into the paint. Kaylee Ford makes a move to the left side, blocked by Peck, but she's fouled. So Kaylee Ford will try to etch her name onto the scoreboard. She is the only Saint not to have scored so far today. Only played about 2 minutes so far. And she is now on the score sheet. 14 players have been out there today for St. Francis. All 14 have scored. And Kaylee Ford's got 2 points. 94-38. Amos working against Scholl on the outside, and a foul is called away from the ball. This one I believe is on Lorelei Thormeyer, and it will send Trinity to the free throw line. Nope, Kaylee Ford. So I don't usually guess. I'm not good at it. Leilani Harris is back in for Mia Kennelly. First free throw is good from Jakaya Amos. 12 points for her today. Second foul shot right here. She made 1 of 2. The rebound is grabbed by Harris. Here's Pellegrini passing to Harris, who's at the top of the key. Harris bounces to the cutting Scholl, who lays it in. Beautiful pass from Harris. Great cut and a strong finish from Autumn Scholl, who's got 6 points now. Pack backs in, turnaround, no. Rebound tapped around. Jakaya Amos grabs it. She's going back to the free throw line. 96 seconds still to play. St. Francis has dominated this one pretty much since the tip. Trinity trying to beef up their offensive numbers before heading out. Amos gets herself another point. She's got 13. Made 1 of 2 from the line on the last trip. Now trying to go 2 for 2, and she does this time finish it off. Kaylee Ford off to Harris. Harris walks it to the left, passes back out to the wing. It's Lorelei Thormeyer. There's Pellegrini around the screen. In the corner, Scholl, cross court, Ford. Ford puts it on the floor. Spins inside, nice move, and she puts it in with the left hand. Good work inside by Kaylee Ford. And we are down to the final minutes. Amber Reynolds taking her time here for Trinity. Reynolds with 10 on the shot clock, starts to work her way ahead. Dribbles to the right side, her pass in low is intercepted by Harris. This will probably be the last possession for St. Francis. We'll see if they can hit the century mark for the second consecutive game. Thormeyer for 3, it's good. And St. Francis does indeed eclipse 100 points in back-to-back contests. They've scored 220 over their last 2 games. Geisler down in the corner. Amos for 3. Grazes the rim, no good. Another rebound for Harris, and that should do it. Saints do need to get it across half court here. And Pellegrini is not going to do that, and the refs don't seem to care very much. So, no 10-second violation. They'll just let the clock run out, and St. Francis comes away with a 101-41 victory here. They take out Trinity International by 60, and they improve to 2-0 in conference with an average margin of victory of 75. It's not too shabby to start the CCAC season for the Fighting Saints, who will move back to non-conference action later on this week. The Saints scored on their opening possession today, and they led the rest of the way. It took them 12 seconds to score today. It took them 8 seconds to score on Wednesday. So in their 2 conference games so far this year, not only have they not trailed, they've only been tied for a grand total of 19 seconds. And other than that, they have held the lead the entire way. Impressive performances for a lot of Fighting Saints today. Justine Charlesworth led the way with 20 points. Jordan Pyle had a great game with 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists, and she did all that in only 19 minutes. And then once they went to the bench, Fighting Saints reserves did some great work today as well. 14 different players all found the scoreboard for St. Francis today. I'll get you some final totals in just a moment. The win for St. Francis improves their overall record to 4-1, of course 2-0 in conference. Trinity International drops to 1-4. They are 0-2 in conference. Leilani Harris off the bench today, finished with 9 points and 7 rebounds in just 12 minutes played. Saints got 8 points chipped in from Alina Yonke, who also grabbed 8 rebounds. Braxton Nickens had 7, as did Talia Pellegrini and Sierra Mahomes in limited action today. It's a great team effort all around for a Fighting Saints team that shot 46% from the field, 39% on three-pointers. Trinity International shot just 26% overall, 2 of 18 from three-point range. They were led by Jakaya Amos, who had 14 points. They got 8 rebounds from Breeley Gula. That'll do it for today's broadcast of St. Francis basketball. Thanks for tuning in. They're back at it in just over 48 hours. Monday night, the Fighting Saints take the floor at a non-conference matchup with Bethel University, who makes the trip in from Indiana. That's coming up on Monday evening. That's the next time we'll be with you. Today, though, the final score, 101-41. So until Monday night, Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.